What's going on YouTube? My name is Chris and welcome to Immodernation. Now, I know it's been almost a month since I put out a video, and despite the rumors, no, I'm not dead, and no, I did not raid Area 51. At least not successfully. We'll see if anybody gets that reference in a couple of years. So right now I'm in the process of making another video, and I'm not quite done with it yet. Whew, that was a little bit embarrassing. Anyway, I'm in the process of making a video that's not quite done yet. So instead today I decided to do a Q&A on the LCD side panel mod. See, the LCD side panel mod started as a project to replicate the iBuyPower Snowblind, a PC that's commercially available. The problem was that iBuyPower wanted to sell you an entire system and not just the mod itself. So I decided that I was going to recreate that mod myself and teach all of you how to do it. And boy, did you guys have a lot of questions about it. So what I decided to do was go through some of the top questions that have been asked over and over again and try to answer them in this sort of format. That way you don't have to go searching through the comments section trying to find the answers that you're looking for. So this question is from Richard Green. Richard asks, so is it possible to use the LCD screen from a laptop, or are there too many complications? It's a good question, Richard. So I actually haven't been able to use a laptop screen. I did purchase a laptop LCD for another Snowblind type project. Shh, don't tell anybody. The issue that I ran into is that this LCD has an extra ribbon cable on it that unfortunately is the way that it's designed. It's not going to work because you need to be able to see through the LCD, and you would clearly see the ribbon cable, which was not something that I foreshadowed when I bought this display. So I'm gonna have to find another use for this. So can you use a laptop LCD? Absolutely. Any sort of thin film transistor, LCD display, IPS panel, it should work fine. The issue that you're going to run into is how you're going to provide the video to it, because see, you need to be able to run a ribbon cable into it and have a video board. And then from the video board, you're going to have to find out some way to connect that to your video card, or if you want to mount it internally to some USB port. Yes, it's possible, but I wish you good luck because it's going to be hard to find a video board that's going to be compatible with that LCD. All right, next question is from Monami Tech. Is it possible glass instead of acryl? I'm assuming that by acryl they mean acrylic. So yes, it is possible to do it with tempered glass instead of acrylic. Just really not the way that I did it. You would need to make sure that the LCD is supported on the glass. The way that I designed it is I have a little shelf for the LCD to sit on, and instead of gluing that with adhesive acrylic, you would need some other sort of substrate that would work with glass, maybe double-sided tape. If you have the extreme mounting Scotch tape that I used, that would probably work. The problem is that the type of adhesive that I use, the side grip IPS3, only works with acrylic or polycarbonate. It's not going to work with glass. I would even be reluctant to suggest super glue, just because super glue could also fail, and if you have that LCD fall through, it could damage the LCD. The most common question that I get is, what monitor do I need for this mod? And that really depends on what type of case you're using. So if your case has a window like this one, you kind of want to go for something a little bit more square. Now, these monitors come in two aspect ratios. There's 5:4 and 4:3. You don't want to waste your time with 16:9 because you're going to have to letterbox the sides. You know, I'm talking about those black bars when you watch a movie. You don't want to have to do that because it does cut out a significant portion of the LCD, and you kind of have to black out the rest. And if you're not sure about the aspect ratio of your monitor, just take your resolution, the big number, and divide it into the smaller number. And if you get an answer of 1.25, you have a 5:4 aspect ratio. If you get an answer that's closer to 1.33, you have a 4:3 aspect ratio. Ideally, for square windows, you want an aspect ratio of 1 or 1:1. So a 5:4 would be preferred because it's 1.25, which is closer to 1, as opposed to 1.33 for the 4/3 aspect ratio, which is going to be a little bit more rectangular. Next, people ask me about the size of the monitor, and really just depends on the size of the window. You want to try to get the biggest square monitor that you can. And from what I've seen, the biggest 5:4 aspect ratio monitors are about 20 inches. As far as brand, what brand? Any brand of monitor will work. I'm very fond of the Dell series just because I've worked with them before. They're very commonplace. At least in Southern California, I can find a lot of them on Craigslist. In fact, there are many people, schools even, that are trying to get rid of them in masses. So you can snatch them up for really cheap. Also, you want a monitor that has a DVI input. This will give you the 1280 by 1024 resolution. If you go with the VGA, you might get a resolution that's a little bit less, which is fine. If you want bigger pixels, that's okay. You actually want bigger pixels for this display because they're going to be more visible when the light is reflected. It's kind of the bad side to going with an HD monitor. Yes, you will still be able to see the effect, but the pixels will be much smaller because you have more pixels per square inch. It's not going to reflect light as easily. But for those of you that have done the mod with HD monitors, let me know in the comments section the differences in how you think the appearance is. Another question I get asked is, can this mod be done for this case? And it's usually like an NZXT, a Cooler Master, etc., etc. The answer is yes, this mod can be done for most any case. Will it be easy? No. Especially if you have a tempered glass case or you have an entire side panel that's made out of tempered glass. Those are going to be the most challenging, especially for those of you that are looking to purchase kits for your tempered glass case. It's going to be a while. Another very common question I get is, hey, I used this monitor and I've got this video board. What wires do I connect? I mean, really, that's like asking me what school should I send my kid to. It's really going to depend, and every monitor, every situation is going to be different. There are differences between manufacturers, and there are even differences within model numbers. I mean, I've even seen Dell 1908 monitors that have different video boards between a 1908 FPB and a 1908 FP C. So there's different revisions and it has different effects. What I can tell you is that LCD monitors only require 5 volts. So there's really no need to try to plug your LCD into a 12-volt rail. In fact, if you try to do that, you're very likely to destroy the LCD. All right, this next question is from Alex Yomismo. So cool, I will try after this video. Got some questions. How do you know if your monitor has an anti-glare? Did you just put the towel and if you remove after a night is the anti-glare? Really, you just kind of have to look up the specs to your monitor to determine if it has an anti-glare on the LCD or not. And it's usually only on one side. It's not on both sides. So it'd be the side that's facing you, not the side that's facing into the monitor. For that procedure, you want a super absorbent towel that's going to hold moisture. So that's why I went with, it's this special towel that it stays cold and moist for long periods of time. I can put it down in the video description if you guys are interested. The towel stays moist for long periods of time, so up to about 5 hours, which will kind of loosen the adhesive, allowing me to get a plastic razor blade underneath to be able to scrape it. Not a metal razor blade. Don't do that. You will damage the LCD. So make sure you use a plastic razor blade or some other sort of plastic material that's not going to scrape or damage. The second part of the question, about the lights, what do you think about COD LED? People say it's more powerful. I will take these and try. So Alex, I did a little bit of research into the COD that you're talking about, and I think you mean COB. COB means chip on board, and these are special LED lights that are on a hard piece of plastic instead of a flexible plastic strip. What this allows them to do is to put the LEDs much closer together, so you have a higher density and hence more lumens of light. The problem is finding strips that are the size that I need. The benefit of using LED strip lighting is that I can cut the strips to whatever size that I like. With the chip on board, I'm only limited to the size that they could sell me, which, as I've seen right now, is about a meter. I haven't been able to find anything close to 12 inches, and you can't cut these boards, because if you try to cut these boards, you'll actually damage the lighting itself. So it sounds like a great idea. If I could find some 1 foot, 12-inch boards, that would be ideal. But I haven't been able to find any yet, and I've done a pretty exhaustive research through AliExpress and Alibaba. So are they brighter and more powerful? Yes, I believe that to be true, but you also can't really cut them to size. Also, they're very, very expensive. I mean, even from China, they're about the cost of a roll of LED lighting for me here in the United States. All right, next question comes from Shannon Bodmer. Shannon asks, do you make these to sell? I'm so ungifted in modding, I would love to get one. And the answer is not yet. So I'm still working on the prototype right now, Snowblind version 3.0, which will not be called Snowblind. It'll just be called the LCD side panel kit. And in this kit, it's gonna be your LCD, it's gonna be the plastic mounting and the lights, of course, with the video board and all of the connectors. The hard part about making a kit is making it universal, because every case is going to be different. So I will have to make some modifications, if you will, to different ones in order to make sure that they fit the cases that you all have. The most difficult part about it is the tempered glass ones, because it's not just a tempered glass window on these new cases. It is a full tempered glass side panel, which is challenging because I won't be able to use the acrylic adhesive anymore. And that one I'm going to have to come up with a new strategy. The other strategy is that this is going to be a drop-in kit, so I'm not going to be selling a full side panel or full case. Right now I'm doing a prototype kit for the NZXT S340. We'll see how that goes, and if I'm successful with that, which I think I will be, I'll branch out to new cases and we'll figure it out. All right, next question is from Josh Moore. Josh asks, would it work if you used RGB LEDs? Maybe could create different combination of effects. Well, it's actually important that you use white LEDs. You could use RGB if you wanted to, but it's important that you produce white light, because white is going to be the base for all the other colors. And so if you don't have the white available, it's going to affect the color of everything else. You're not going to be able to get blues and the yellows like you see in the horses behind me. Yes, you could, to get like different types of effects, but it's really going to mess up the colors. It's probably best that you just stick with like a cool white, which is what monitors use. They use like a cool fluorescent white light. Next question is from Eric Kushinsky. Eric asks, where can I find these effects you are using? Looks amazing. Well, I'll put links in the video description down below, but some of these are the black ink in water, which is just a YouTube video. Colored ink in water, again, just another YouTube video. The American flag, also YouTube video. If you saw the one with the car is actually a paid app called Wallpaper Engine, and it's one of the wallpapers that's available. The horses that you see behind me, that's from a children's animation that's available on YouTube. A lot of these videos are available for free on YouTube. So the one that was like fractals was like a grid psychedelic. If you just search under those terms, you're likely to find it. I encourage you guys to find your own effects and use them on the displays, and let me know what effects work best for you. Generally, the ones that are high contrast, that are not too dark, tend to work the best. All right, this question is from Hyuna Yue. Can I use IPS LCD or got to use just TN panel for this? Well, that's a great question. I used a thin film transistor, or TFT panel. So a TN panel would work just fine. An IPS panel should work fine. Make sure it's one of those IPS that has like the wide viewing angles. The only one that I could see that would require different type of fabrication would be the OLED displays, because the OLEDs actually use lighted pixels, right? They don't use the same sort of backlight technology that other monitors or TVs use. So that one you might not need a backlight for. I've never actually used an OLED display because, well, they're stupid expensive. But, if you guys use an OLED display, let me know how that works out for you. All right, this question is from Ben Wobbles. Great mod. Thank you. Question for you. Why paint your MOBA white when you could leave everything black and run white lighting on your LCD screen? Well, Ben, that's an interesting screen name. So you can actually run white on an LCD. And the reason why is because thin film transistor LCD panels don't produce white light. In fact, the white that you're seeing on the image behind me is actually an absence of anything on the screen. So if instead of having a white background, if I had like an orange background, the white spots would be showing up as orange, because it's really just, it doesn't produce white, it's just creating a gap so that light can shine through. So the reason why I paint the motherboard white is so that the light will reflect off of the white background back onto the display, and so the parts that you see through, like you could see in this image here, all the white spots are turning up as clear on the display. So I think that should explain why the motherboard is white, because if the motherboard were still black, you could sort of see that there's an image there, but you wouldn't really be able to make out what it is. Because this works best when you use high contrast image. If you have an image that's dark and a background that's too dark, you've probably seen this with watching television at night. If you have a television that doesn't have very good dynamic contrast and the characters enter like a really dark room, it might not show up as well on, like, say, an older television as compared to newer ones. So that contrast is important. Also, another thing to keep in mind while I'm on the topic of contrast, if you're not getting the image that you want, feel free to change the settings on your monitor. There's two ways you can do it. You can either change the front panel from the LCD if you still have that connected, and I hope you do, because that's how you power on the monitor. So you can adjust it that way. Unfortunately, with DVI, it leaves a lot of options locked out. And I find that depending on your graphics card manufacturer, you could either use Catalyst Control for AMD or GeForce, I think it's GeForce Control Panel, not GeForce Experience, but GeForce Control Panel. And you can change like how much contrast is used, the brightness of the display. You can even adjust reds, greens, and blues individually. So this would be really the best way to kind of dial in, depending on the type of room environment you have, what's going to look best on the display. Well, I hope your question got answered. Let me know in the comments section if it did. Also, let me know if you really enjoyed this Q&A portion. And if you did, maybe you could suggest another Q&A that I could do in the future, maybe for paint a motherboard or the Wii U mod or any of my videos I can do a Q&A section for. Just let me know which one it is and I will pick it. All right, well, I've got to get going. I've got another video that I need to finish. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you slap that like button below and share the video. And while you're at it, why not join the Modern Nation and get subscribed by clicking on that subscribe button below. And hey, when you do, don't forget to click on the bell icon inside the button to be notified the moment that I release new videos. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them for me in the comment section below, or why not hit me up on social media? I'd love to hear from you guys. And when you buy products from Amazon, consider using the affiliate links in the video description below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see ya!